Hi all, good morning. Let's start today's session. I'm clicking on Tosca. Usually Tosca will take some time to load. It is a heavy application. In the meantime, we'll discuss about what are the topics we are going to cover today. Tosca is loading. So we have seen Tosca Commander by default when you're trying to open Tosca will open the Tosca Commander. Tosca Commander is loading now. Let me increase the font size. So as we discussed Tosca Commander, right, there are different tabs available in Tosca Commander. Like we have modules tab, test cases, okay, then we have requirements tab, then we have test case design tab, we have execution tab and issues tab. Okay, so once you open Tosca, so I'm by default I need to select the recent project. I'm selecting test web shop as my recent project. Let me double click on it. Yeah, it's loading. Okay, so as discussed, these are the different tabs available in Tosca, like modules tab, requirements tab, test cases tab, test design tab, execution tab, issues tab, and configuration tab. Okay, these are the different tabs available in Tosca, and by default when you are creating a new project, if you have checked the option, you will get the standard modules, and this standard modules is important to perform some of the standard operations. Okay, in the last session I have shown you how to create a module. Let me reiterate it, and we'll proceed further. Okay, and before that, if you want to run your Tosca commands, we need to check the licenses. By default the license should be enabled. Let me check the license. In order to enable the configuration option, please close the workspace. Okay, let me close the project. Okay, just go to licenses and just check click on manage. It will connect to the server and check whether you have the license or not. See, as of now I am having one license available. This is the trial license which I am using, and these are the different types of applications which you can work using trial license. Okay, it is valid till August 31st 2019. Okay, let me go back and select my project. I have selected my project. So as I discussed, right, there are different tabs available, like the module section. Let me expand this. Okay, the modules tab, the test cases tab, requirements tab. So each tab has its specific use. So if you want to scan the objects on a web page, these objects are stored in a tab called as modules tab. For creating test cases, we use test cases tab, and the requirements tab is used for writing the requirements, and the test design tab is something like when you want to perform data driven testing, you want to execute the test case with multiple sets of data, we use the test design tab. Finally, the execution tab is where we execute our test cases, and if there are any issues found, then you can log that issues in issues tab. So basically, a Tosca is behaving like a test management tool. So Tosca is also a test management tool. Okay. So now we'll look at deeper into what is module tab. We'll start with our module tab. So what is a module tab? And basically, to scan, module tab is something like we scan our objects. These are also called as web elements. If you are coming from the Selenium background, right, these are called as web elements. Like you have your text boxes, radio buttons, check boxes, etc. These are called as objects in Tosca, and normally we can even call them as web elements. Okay, so we scan our objects. These scanned objects are stored in modules tab. Let's look at it and proceed further. So for testing our application, like I am going to use the Tosca has provided one application for practicing. That application is called as demo webshop.trisyntax.com. So I'm using this application for testing. Let me open this application. So let me open this application in browser. This is a sample application which is provided by Tosca for practice purpose. So this is a normal e-shopping application, like where you have some set of items to purchase. You have books, you have computers, you have electronics, where you can select a product and you can purchase it. For today's session, we'll start with the registration link. So the moment you open the tab, right, the moment you open the application demo webshop.trisyntax.com, this is the default page which is loaded. In order to do shopping, you need to register first, then log in and purchase products and payment, then shipping will come. This is the order generally we follow. So let's so what is the first step I need to do? I need to click on registration button. So once I click on the registration button, right, I need to enter my personal details, and once I click on register, then I'll be registering into the website. Okay, so this is what we'll be doing today. Like we'll be scanning the module. So we'll be automating the above application using Tosca, and we'll start with the registration link. So before starting with the registration link, let me see the properties of this registration link. So I'm opening this application in Chrome browser. Once you open the application, you select that particular element. I'm selecting registration and just try to inspect this element. Okay, let me pull it down. So this is the registration link. It's an H reference. See, generally a link will have the H reference, and it is having one class. It is in an anchor tag. Okay, now we will try to scan this particular module. So how to scan this particular module is, let's scan this module. So let me minimize this. Okay, so I am going to module section. What I am doing is I need to create a folder first. So let me create a folder. See, one thing you have to observe is each tab is having a different color in Tosca. Like test cases tab will have a blue color, modules tab will have orange color, requirements yellow color, test design is having the red color option, and execution is having a light green color, issues is having blue color. So we can create folders in Tosca. Like we can create a folder under a folder. Like there is no restriction, like we can create a number of folders in Tosca. So I'm creating a folder. So I'm calling it as like links or home page links or navigation links. I'll name it as navigation links. Okay, now I need to scan this application. So what I'll do is I'll right click. There is an option called a scan application. So once you click on this scan application, but you have different options, like you have desktop scan, you have non-UI scan, mobile, remote web scan, and legacy desktop scan. See, generally if you are testing a web application or a desktop application, we go for a desktop scan. If you are working on web services which is non-UI, then we'll be using non-UI, and if you are working on mobile, we'll be using mobile apps. So remote web scan is something if you want to test on a remote machine, and legacy is like the old applications which are developed using command prompt. Okay, so time being I want to scan a web application, so I'll be clicking on scan web application, desktop scan. So the moment I click on the desktop scan, right, it will load all the available applications on my desktop. See, as of now there are different applications available on my desktop. I am recording this video, so there is a recorder application, and this is our demo web shop application which we have opened. This is my computer like this. So whatever the applications which are open on my desktop will be available. What we need to do is, for example, if you are adding one more application, let's say I'm adding calculator application. So right now launch this calculator application after opening the scan. So what we can do is you can even refresh it. So the moment you refresh is that the calculator application also will be loaded. Okay, now what application I want to scan? I want to scan my demo webshop.rising desktop application. So I'm selecting that particular application which is available on my screen, and I'm clicking on scan. So the moment I click on scan, right, the Tosca will scan all the elements on the page. Okay, so if you observe it, if you go to login, right, so you can, these are the different types of elements which are available on the page. Okay, so these are the elements which are same, but I'm looking for only register, right. Let me select register here. Okay, the moment I select register, right, the register is having, the register is right now there are different ways of identifying the elements on a page. I'm using an option called as identify by properties. Okay, so the moment I select register, right, I see two types of properties for this register link. One is called as representational properties, other one is called as technical properties. Technical properties is something which you see here, like you have H reference, class name, these things are nothing but technical properties. Let's see, you have class name, ICO register, the same class name you will find it here, ICO register, and the inner text is register. This is what you see. So the moment I select register, right, so I can select this one, and what I will do is, let me select register button, let me go to bash basic mode. I need to, let me scan it again, it was not scanned properly. So let me scan it once again. Scan desktop application. Select tracing test, demo webshop.tracingtest.com. From this I am clicking on register button. This item was selected unique. Once, so you can even highlight it. So register button which we have selected has been highlighted. Now I need to save it. Let me save it. So let me scan the application now. Scan application, desktop. So it displays the web shop. I'm selecting it and clicking on scan button. Okay, so from this I am selecting the register button. The moment I select the registration button, right, you get an option like if this control is uniquely identified. See, the selected item is unique, and just click on save. Okay. I'm saving that particular application and I'm closing it. Now if you look at here, so here my module has been scanned. This module is having only one element called as registration link, and these are the properties of the registration link. See, the inner text is registration, it is an anchor tag, and this is a type, what type of an element it is or what type of an object it is a link. Okay, so how to scan the objects in Tosca? Let me write it down. Let me take a new page. How to scan objects in Tosca. So what we'll see is, we need to, I am showing you the navigation. We need to go to modules tab. Okay, since I am using a desktop application, create a folder. So create a folder and give a name to it, and then scan application. Install this. So the navigation is, I need to go to modules tab, I need to create a folder. Okay, now what I need to do is, I need to open the application browser. Then I need to go to an option called as scan. So what I am doing it, I am going to an option called as scan application, and I am taking desktop scan. Scan application, desktop scan. Okay, now when I click on desktop scan, it will display all the UI application. It displays all list of UI applications present on desktop. Okay, I need to select my application. Select the application to test. In this case, I am using demo web shop. After that, what I need to do is, I need to scan. I need to select the element. Select the element from available list. So this is what I have done. So I am right clicking, scan application, desktop scan. The list of applications, select my demo web shop, click on scan. It will load all the elements on the image. So now I will select registration. I will also select now login. Okay, and right now the identification process is by properties. So it will display the list of properties available for that particular object. And properties are classified into two types. One is called as representation, another one is technical. We will see later what is representation and what is technical. So the moment I select that particular control, I am clicking on save button, the module gets saved. So this is what I need to do for scanning. And if you are working on web services, then you have to use this non-UI scan. If you are working on mobile, you have to use mobile option. So this is how we need to scan the elements in Tosca. These are different options available. Generally we use desktop scan, non-UI and mobile scan. Now so the moment I select the module scan, right, so let's say like if you want to add some more elements, you can use an option called as rescan. The moment you select rescan, right, it will again load the Xscan window. Let me show the Xscan window. So this is called as the Xscan window, like whatever you are seeing, right, this is called as an Xscan window. And if you want to add some more elements to it, like I also want to add registration to this, I am adding it and I am clicking on the save button. Generally rescan is not a recommended option. Now my module will have two elements, one is register element and other one is login element. Now we need to explore few things on Xscan. So what I am going to do is let me scan once again desktop application. So it will display the list of available active applications. So from that list I will be selecting demo web shop. So once I select an application, right, so there are different options which are available for me. Let's say right now I am selecting a register application. Okay, so these are the different ways of selecting it, and there is one scroller. This is called as a filter. So if I am moving this filter to my right hand side, okay, I will be finding some more elements. See, the moment I move the filter to the right hand side, the number of elements will increase. Okay, look at here. So we are digging deeper into the website, and if I am moving this filter to the right hand side, the number of elements will increase. So we are looking at the high level. So this is one very important option which we have, and there are different ways also to identify the object on a page. As of now we are using the default option called as properties. We can even identify the object using anchor, image, index. Okay, so this is about the filter. So let me take a short notes on filter. Take a new page. So if we scroll to the left, we see few elements. Sorry. And if we scroll to right, we see more elements. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll try to identify some more elements on this application. Okay, right now I only identify registration button. It's okay, I'm not saving this. There's other way of identifying the element on the page. Try me, I'll show you the first option. So again I'll right click, scan application, desktop scan. So the other one is, let me take a link called as books, from where I have books. Even books is uniquely identified. The other way of identifying the element on a page is, let's say I have an option here called as select on screen. So the moment you click on select on screen, right, you can even minimize this using an option called as condense. So I will minimize it and I am selecting a link called as books. See, I am selecting a link called as books. Okay, and the moment I select the books, right, so I am getting this link books, but the background color is yellow, or let's say it's orange. So it says that this element is not uniquely identified. What it is not uniquely identified means it is having more than one element. So in this web application there is more than one element with the name books. I think I closed it. Let me rescan it again. Scan application, desktop scan. I'll be using select on screen option, condensed mode. I'm selecting a link called as books. So once I select books, right, let me review it. So what it says is it is not unique. The selected item is not unique. That means in this application there are multiple links with the name books. So if you want to go, let's go deeper into it. So I'm going into deeper by scrolling my filter to the right hand side. Let's search how many books are there. Okay, I'm searching for books. Okay, when I search for books, right, I am getting some options. Say there is a books available here, there is books available here. I think as of now there are two areas where we find the books, and this control is not uniquely identified. Okay, so whenever you want to test an application, that particular object should be uniquely identified. Okay, now let's try to make this element unique. So before, what I can do is I'll try to see can I add some more properties to this element and make it unique. I'm adding a property called as I cannot add class name because class name is empty. And let me check by adding some other elements like outer text also I cannot add. So right now I cannot identify this element using properties. Okay, so let me close this and let me check what are the, let me inspect this particular element. So if I inspect it, it's not having anything, like it's having only H reference and it is having inner text. So how do you identify this element? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll again try to rescan it. Scan application, desktop. Select this. And now I am selecting select on screen, condense. I'm using books. Review it. So what I do is I'll try to identify it with different options. So I'm going to the next option called as anchor. So the moment you select anchor, right, anchor is something like a reference. Okay, for example, let's say if your person is not able to locate your house, right, so what you are going to do is you are going to provide a landmark. Okay, let's say there is a bank near your house, so you are going to provide the bank. Let's say that you have ICICI bank, you are going to provide ICICI bank as a reference. From ICICI bank you say you come second left and a third house. So what you are doing is you are telling a known location or a location which is uniquely identified. From that location you are navigating to a house. The same concept applies when you are working on anchor tag. So what I am doing is I am trying to select a location which is uniquely identified. So let me use this option, select on screen, condense. So this books, right, so for identifying books, right, I can this is my uniquely identified location. I'm clicking on categories. Let me check now. Let me review it. No, even this is not uniquely identified. Let me Close it once again and scan it. Select on screen, condense, review item, identify by anchor.